Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mundane Matt, and the internet is a fantastic place. It allows us to get instantaneous access to information and pornography. I mean, no one out there can really fault that, right? Everyone loves a good porn. But the point is, it also allows us access to places like social media, right? Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Yik Yak, Twitter, you name it. There's a lot of places. And social media has been around for well over a decade now. It's never gotten any better. But one of the biggest problems to stem out of social media has been virtue signaling. Now, virtue signaling is, I'm sure many people out there who follow this channel know what that is, but for those of you normies who don't know, this is what it is. Virtue signaling is when somebody makes a big stink about something so they can feel good about it, right? And that's what a lot of what happens in online conversations. We will make a big public stink about something on Twitter or Facebook, whether it's a political belief or something along those lines, and we do it so we feel better, like we feel like we're giving back without actually lifting a finger. And you know what? I do it too, you do it, we all do it. Everyone fucking does it. Everyone grandstands online in some fashion or another. The key thing is just knowing you do it, understanding when you do it, and then trying to not do it as much, right? And I think everyone out there can generally agree with that. But when it comes to the psychology behind why we do that, it's interesting. So there was recently a study posted in Motivation and Emotion, which is a scientific journal, and this particular study was trying to figure out how people would respond to when they believe they are the problem versus when they believe that they are not part of the problem and that it's something else entirely. So two categories of people were brought in. They were divided up. In one category, they were shown news articles designed to incite a reaction that there was problems in the world, but it didn't really have anything to do with them. It didn't impact their life at all. And at the end of the day, they pretty much felt like, yeah, it sucks, but it had nothing to do with me. So it has nothing to do with them, so they didn't really give much of a shit to begin with. But the people on the other side of that's where things got interesting, because they were shown articles that essentially said that they were the problem. People who buy Apple products or products from China supporting child labor and climate change issues and things like that. They basically responded entirely differently. In many cases, many of them started kind of shifting the blame to other people, kind of shifting it. Oh, big oil, big pharma, big business. They were the ones that they were kind of like heaping all that blame on. And then they admitted that they felt guilty as a result. They felt that there was some guilt there. So when they were given an opportunity to kind of fill out a questionnaire or fill out a survey, and they were allowed to air their grievances about these particular issues, they did. And at the end, they felt better. In fact, according to the study, they felt better than the people of whom were shown stuff that they weren't directly involved with, right? So what does that tell you? Or what does that generally tell us? And it's not, I'm not trying to pinpoint regressives or the extreme right or anything like that. I think people are complicated to begin with. But it does go to show that when we are presented with something where we are blamed for that problem, we might feel some guilt, because deep down inside, maybe we do, maybe we're designed to, but at the same time, we also don't know what to do, which might then manifest itself as guilt. And so then we look for other things to kind of blame on. We go, oh, blame this political party, or blame that religion, or blame other things. And then when given the opportunity to express our grievances on social media, we do it, and then we feel better. Like me personally, I'm not a Donald Trump fan, so I do enjoy writing anti-Trump posts. Is it a form of virtue signaling? Yeah, I'll admit that it is. I will admit that it is. There are times where I will fire off a shot with something without even really considering everything, and people will call me the fuck out on it, as they should. Because that's how we get better. We cannot allow ourselves as a society, and this doesn't just go for America, it goes for pretty much everywhere. We can't allow ourselves as a species to become completely over-encumbered with these sorts of things. There are numerous injustices in the world. There are numerous problems in the world. And there are things out there that do need help, do need assistance, do need sympathy, do need empathy. There are all of those things, absolutely, without a shred of doubt. But in the way that social media has started kind of running rampant, and the way that these activist groups start to kind of push it, more so on the left than on the right, and I will say that. And I'm not shoving blame on the left, but you can pinpoint a number of left-leaning organizations that use this kind of propaganda, really, in order to push that specific belief. And it does apply to the right as well. All right, it very much applies to the right. And it's a problem that we all face constantly. Because what do they say? You can't leave your house without coming across like 100 pieces of propaganda every single day. I mean, like, that's not a direct quote. I'm paraphrasing something I heard. But it's very true. We are always constantly inundated with propaganda. When propaganda works, it can have impacts on our psyche. And when it comes to social media, especially nowadays where people are running out of work, there's just not a lot of money, there's not a lot of jobs, at least jobs that they want, jobs that pay well, they feel over encumbered by life, stress, all those things. Then they get told, you're the problem, right? You're the problem for this. And so they think, well, they feel guilty because they don't know how to respond. They don't know what to do to fix it. And so then they get online and they grandstand because that makes them feel better. It's a weird kind of thing to be confronted with, isn't it? When you are in fact confronted just with the idea that maybe everything we say is not 100% what we believe. And maybe we are influenced subconsciously, emotionally, psychologically by things of how they're presented to us. The media does this very well. There's no way around it. There are people out there I know that you probably watch on YouTube that you watch because they evoke a certain emotional reaction and response from you. You maybe want to feel something, so you watch that person and then you kind of, listen to what they say, you listen to how they present it, and then you respond accordingly. That is very much kind of similar to this. I think the best course of action going forward, and it's one that I know I will fail on, but I will definitely try to do it, is to look at everything as it comes in as objectively as humanly possible. And that is hard to do on social media because you are constantly inundated with articles and updates and status posts and it's complicated relationships and, fucking Farmville. All those things. It makes it hard. But I think if we stop before we post, kind of take a second before we post something and ask ourselves, do I really feel this way? Or is this something that I'm responding to, a knee-jerk reaction because I feel like I am being called something that I know that I'm not? And I think that's something we should all look at going forward. And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to happen overnight. We're all going to stumble. We're all going to fall. But I think if we have the mindset of what's happening online, because the tone of social media conversations will kind of, they'll kind of determine how certain things play out. If we have an idea and it's forefront in our mind, we might be able to stop it a little bit sooner. So those are just my thoughts on this. I do want to know yours. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that you are susceptible to something like this? Do you think that you are 100% woke or red-pilled and this will never affect you? Or are you somewhere in between and you're not entirely sure? And guess what? That's okay too. So my name is Mundane Matt. Be sure to thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, share it around, check back often for more content from me. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day, and peace out.